Hey yo, check this out. It's Killer Cam. You watching World Star Hip Hop Street Heat right here from my studio. Dipset.
Is the beef with True Life squashed, Cam? And can you clear it up once and for all? Could you please?
I don't have no problem with this dude, and at the end of the day, I don't even know what the beef is really about, what people say.
How did this start? What are the start of it?
I don't know the guy, so there's no way I can say I beef with them. At the end of the day, what happened was they see me downtown, I by myself, they had to drop.
You a dolo?
I was dolo. They had a few people with them. They made a movie out. They had to drop. Nobody touched me. Nobody laid a hand on me. They was fronting. That was the end of it. I haven't spoke to them since then. That's the end of that.
How's your relationship with Jewels?
I mean, I don't see Jewels. I don't really speak to Jewels. It ain't like we bump into people anywhere or nothing like that. But we got mutual friends, you know. Some people in my circle be with him. Some people from his circle be with me. So it's all good. There can't be no real problem like that if we be around the same people.
Okay. Because I remember he had recently said not too long ago that when it was the whole diplomats thing, that he felt that anything that would come about for Jewels that Cam would not give the green light to. And that he said that he felt that Cam was kind of stifling him in a way.
He's been on his contract for a year now. So
Yeah, wow.
it's been a year. Who's stifling him now? Like it's been a year since he's been out his contract.
Okay.
And maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe like 10 months, but it's been a long time since he's been out his contract. When I let him out his deal, I left him with $800,000 budget. I'm not stopping anything he's doing. If I want to stop, I could still be an asshole right now and be like, yo, I'm not letting him out. I didn't have to let him out, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hold his career up. I'm just trying to make sure I get what I'm supposed to get and we can keep it moving. But if I really want to be an asshole and didn't want him to do nothing, I'd still be wherever I was at, not answering Def Jam's phone calls, not trying to let him get his deal, not nothing. So, but he been out his deal for 10 months, and I'm not stifling him now, and I left him with $800,000.
Let's talk about current. Let's talk about your new album.
Album got like 23 joints on it. It's almost like a double CD.
Okay.
No real crazy features, just basically in-house, a few new artists I'm working with. In-house production, my man Schizo, my man A-Rab. It's just real crazy, you know what I'm saying?
What would you say was your greatest obstacle putting this album together?
No obstacle, really. Probably my greatest obstacle was just picking out what songs I want to put on the album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I normally do about 3, 4, 5 songs a week, so for the last 3, 4, 5 months, we've been having probably 50 songs to pick from.
Okay.
So probably just really what songs to pick, like, damn, I don't want to take this off, I don't want to leave this out, shit like that.
Cam, how'd you come up with the name Crime Pays?
It's kind of like, you know, I'm not saying just want to use my story as the example, but it's kind of like, you know, I didn't graduate from high school, but I ended up in college. Like, that's kind of like amazing. How do you go to college without graduating from high school, no GED and nothing, you know what I'm saying?
So tell us a little about the UN. What is that?
That's the name of my new mixtape.
Okay.
It's coming out August 5th.
All right. And so there was an artist by the name of Ruth Spitz who was saying, he was on World Star saying that you took the name of the UN from that. You want to address that?
First of all, the name of the mixtape is the UN.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of it. I know who he is. He was over here with SAS. I had no idea that they was calling their stuff the UN. If it is, they could still have it. It was just named mixtape. The reason I named it the UN is because all the diplomats meet at the UN.
Okay.
And I'm the main diplomat. So I really was saying I'm the UN. But if that's the name of anything or whatever, I don't know. Whatever, take it. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? It's just the name of my album coming out.
Cam, you had said recently in an interview that you're not doing a Diplomat 3 album. Now, does that mean with J.R. Ryder, Hell, 40 Cal? Could you address that a little bit?
I mean, they still are my people, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with none of them. They're still my people, but everybody's career kind of is going in their own direction. It's time to work on something new. But 40 still comes over to the studio, you know, a couple times a week. That's still my man, regardless of what's going on. He's always going to be a part of what I'm doing. But everybody just kind of career went in their own direction and people start doing their own thing. But that don't mean that that's not my friends or I don't consider them family or none of that. They cool.
Why not say, let's put everything aside and make this album, make something together?
Right now, I'm not focused on that. And there's more people like y'all who just keep dragging it along, who just make people go crazy and be like, then next thing you know, Joel's and Jim is gonna have another interview. Like, did you see Cam on that interview? And he said this. It just goes on forever because y'all people just keep asking the same questions and y'all not seeming to get it. And I'm not gonna feed into it.
Okay.
But it's done. It's done.
Now, since they have problems with Max B, you don't see yourself ever doing a song with him, Max B, right?
It isn't because they have problems with the Max is under a contract and it doesn't make sense just to do a hot song and can't benefit from it. But you know, Max is doing this thing on the internet and hopefully I wish him the best and everything works out for him. But you know, I got no problem with Max at all. It ain't because of their problem. Me and Max is from the same building. It's just, you know, I don't like to do things that don't make sense.
There's a rapper named Nova that there was a single that you had dropped called "I Hate My Job," and he was saying that you took the song title and the concept from him. Do you want to address that at all and let the record straight?
Nah, well, I'll address it. What happened was I did the song, knocked it out. My man Schizo, I told him to do the hook. He was like he couldn't do it because a friend of his had the same hook.
Okay.
A song. So he played the song for me, and I was like, wow, that is crazy similar. So I did the hook myself. I was like, I'm not changing. I already did it.
Mm-hmm.
After that, he comes out saying I took a song, which I did. He had beef with Schizo or whatever the case may be. When I spoke to him, it wasn't a problem. He said he didn't have a problem, so I left it with that.
The streets really want to know what really happened over there in London with Big Joe and the Diplomats and the whole thing with the show money, and that created that whole issue.
What happened was, we were supposed to have a show in London however many years ago, and Joe probably said it was for maybe 40,000, I believe it was supposed to be. All the 75,000 I started seeing on the internet and all this, I'm like, niggas really said 75,000, which I didn't have any idea about. I got 15,000. Supposedly, I don't know, Joel was supposed to get some money, and we supposed to get the rest when we got there. They're supposed to have, in the contract, they're supposed to have 5 first-class tickets.
Okay.
They only had 2. So Joe was like, we don't have to go because they breached the contract. That's the end of the story.
That was that.
That's, for my end of the story, that's the end of it. For all I knew, it was 40,000. I got 15 of it. Joel supposedly got 15. He's supposed to get the rest when we got there. They supposedly breached the contract, because I never spoke to any of these people. Joe booked the show. And that was the end of it.
Where do you get your swag from?
Just want to be different. You know, at the end of the day, I try and do, if everybody's going right, I'm going to go left. If everybody's going up, I'm going to go down. Just trying to be different. Ain't something that I try to do. It's kind of like, I used to wear pink and all that. It wasn't like I was, like, one day saying, yeah, I'm going to just wear pink all the time. It was like, I know nobody else is going to wear it, so I'm going to find a few different outfits to wear.
You no longer rocking pink, or is it still pink? It's done.
So, you know, if I see something pink that's hot that I think fit for the time, then cool, but yeah, I'm kind of off that kick.
All right, so let's shift gears and change subjects a bit. A while ago, you did an interview with 60 Minutes where they was talking about snitching and stuff like that, and you had said that if there was a serial killer that lived next door, that you wouldn't tell and or snitch. So if you had to do that whole interview over again, would you answer that question any differently, or?
Yeah, definitely. I want to handle the situation definitely much different because 60 Minutes isn't Sesame Street or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's big time business. I got a lot of slack behind that, so if I had the chance to do it over, I'd definitely do it over.
How do you feel now since this is your return now, and since, you know, your mom's doing better, I want to say, is that motivating you at all now?
I mean, I'm always motivated. It isn't, I don't need anything to motivate me. You know, I'm from home, just not being able to go back home motivates me. Because if you don't win where I'm from, they can't wait to rag you out. So, you know, being able to go back to my block, that's what motivates me, and that's every day.
Me and my partner, Will, we big movie buffs. So name your top 3 gangsters from the movies.
Top 3 gangsters, Ken.
Could be like TV too.
Yeah, TV.
Yeah.
I'll go with Tony Soprano.
Okay.
Eric Sosa, guy who killed Scarface. I hear everybody say Scarface, but nobody really say
The
Sosa.
guy who killed Scarface, okay.
Exactly. And I'm gonna go with Old Dog, man.
Since you returned from your hiatus, how do you feel about Lil Wayne being considered like one of the hottest rappers alive?
Wayne's my man. I'm proud of him. He worked hard. You know, with a lot of people, I'm like, Wayne been doing this for years. Wayne had a record deal before I had a record deal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even though Cash Money been out for 12, 13 years, so, you know, for him to come up from where he came up with, it was all them BG, Juvie, Turk, everybody, to see him excel from all that and become one of the hottest people in the game. 10, 12 years later, I'm really proud of him. That's my little man.